Okay, I'm back with you. Decided to sit down and just chat with you a little bit. So this is lesson 3 for April 28th. I like the way the author, it comes in and talks about movie scenes. Certainly, movies are one way that we really, really, I think, come to appreciate the effectiveness of music, different types of music. Or perhaps we might disagree and say certain music was not effective in a certain movie scene or television scene or whatever it might be. I recently, well, a few months ago, went to see an award-winning movie for this year's awards. And the movie's title is 1917. It's a movie about World War I. Perhaps you also have seen it. It is a beautifully made movie, if you can use the word beautiful, because it's about war, so it's terribly difficult to watch from the standpoint of there's a war and it's ugly. But the movie has been beautifully done by the producers and actors and musicians and all the different people, in that they have put together an amazing production, the scenery and all of the detail. But I noticed throughout the movie that the music really had a way of sweeping me along, okay? Sweeping someone along means to kind of move them as if you were sweeping with a broom. You're moving a person through something, an experience. And the music in that movie helped to sweep me along with the story. It at times was very harsh music. At times it was very sad music. At times when the cameras were taking in the beautiful landscape around the war zone, you would see the beauty of the rolling hills and the beauty of the English Channel, and perhaps a ship, out to sail. And in those scenes, the music was lighter and more just that pure, beautiful sound. So think about that a little bit. Think about movies or TV shows that you've watched where the music really helped to sweep you along, to carry you through the story and all of the rise and fall. It's a very intentional thing, isn't it? The people who determine music for any kind of visual production want to turn emotions on and off with people. The article uses the word trigger. A trigger on a gun, okay? The thing that causes the gun to shoot. The musicians and the writers of these movies want to trigger certain emotions in us, because they know that if people see a movie that makes them feel certain emotions and feel a lot of different emotions, that people are more likely to say, wow, that was an amazing movie, versus one that would be, say, very boring, that didn't trigger any emotion. The emotions that are triggered affect all of us, don't they? All of the parts of us, not just our thoughts, but they can actually, as the article says, affect things like our pulse, our heart rate. They can affect our breathing. Have you ever breathed faster because something was tense and the music was making us feel tense? da 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 da, that kind of a thing. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It is a total body experience. When we want to relax, we choose music that we know is going to be very relaxing. Think of the music that is played in a spa. Think of the music that is played at a festival. Different kinds of approaches. The people at the spa want you to totally relax. The people at the festival want you to be excited and happy and, all worked up about being there, just happy to be there. Our bodies react by dancing, by singing along. We have various ways that we react. When I go to hear a concert, especially if it's a singer or a musician that I know well, I don't mean personally, but I just know their music and I've always enjoyed them. If I hear the beginning of one of my favorite songs by that artist, I break out into a smile. I know from the beginning notes that this is one of my favorite songs that they've ever performed, and it just automatically makes me feel good. That built-in understanding that we have about music, built in with a hyphen in between, is it means that something that is already a part of, okay? So when you have the word built in with a hyphen, it means that something is already a part of in this case, of us, okay? So that's the instinct. An example would be if you have a, let's just say your cell phone. Your cell phone has a microphone built into it. It's part of that, okay? That's the built-in with the hyphen in between, okay? So that built-in understanding of music, the article tells us, has been there all along. It just continually grows and is shaped by the lives that we lead. As babies, we learn when our parent is rocking us and singing softly. Our instinct develops around soft music is relaxing. Soft music can make me go to sleep. When as a baby we are exposed to rhythmic, upbeat music and we see our parents dance along, then we begin to instinctively know when that kind of music comes on, oh, it's happy time. Oh, it's time to play. The article uses a quote from a music psychologist who says that our expectations about music help to shape our understanding, that we have this built-in ability to predict or expect what's going to come next, and we anticipate that as we listen. So we, have this feeling, oh, I think I know what this, what this song is going to do here, what the rhythm is going to do. I think there's something that's, happening because that's just kind of my experience with hearing tunes like this. So we have this expectation. We have expectations about low notes and high notes, as well as rhythms and volume. Low notes are quite often associated with sadness or doom, or a deep kind of thoughtful, heavy kind of thoughtful mood, whereas higher notes are more likely associated with sweeter melodies or perhaps more exciting melodies. The volume that we listen to can affect mood. Sometimes we turn it way up. We want to be filled with that sound. Sometimes we listen to music very softly because we want it to be in the background, but we want to feel it just a little bit. So all of these different aspects can signal for us various mood changes. I thought the next paragraph was interesting in talking about how the performer uses their bodies, their facial expressions, their hands, to express the emotion they want us to feel with the song. Have you ever watched the show The Voice, or America Has Talent, or Britain Has Talent, or whatever country? I'm sure that there's a similar type show in your countries of origin. I know that in these shows you have oftentimes singers who are amateurs. They're newer singers. Maybe they've been singing all their life, but they haven't been singing on the big stage. And the judges will often give them advice, right? The judges will be saying things like, you need to open your eyes more. You need to really look into the faces of the people in the audience. You need to smile less when you are singing a sadder song. You need to move your feet. Don't stand in one place. Move around on the stage. All of these different coaching techniques you hear the judges giving to the artists. And they give that as part of their training to train these artists. This is how you learn how to sell your music. This is how people are going to learn to and want to follow you as an artist, because you convey, C-O-N-V-E-Y, convey means to give. You convey through all of these methods. How loud you sing, how soft you sing, how open your eyes are or how closed, how sad your face looks, how serious your expression is, how excited your face looks, how much your body moves, all of these things. And we learn to take our own cues from that as we listen. One person's happy song is another person's sad song. I think this is interesting. I might not have stated it with quite that much contrast because happy and sad are opposites, but I do think that what you like and what I like, very different. It's true with the people who, all around us, we have our personal musical tastes, don't we? And sometimes that's a problem in a family, because you've got some people wanting to listen to this music and some people, no, I don't want to listen to that, I want to listen to this. And everybody has to find a way to be happy about that. You probably, with young children, haven't experienced it that much yet, but you will as they grow older and they have their own musical taste, and you know, yours is going in a different direction maybe. We are very, very much shaped by the families in which we have grown up and the culture in which we've grown up. And that totally sets us up for liking certain types of music. It doesn't mean that we can't change. When kids leave home, go to university, go to jobs, they meet new friends, they have a new circle of acquaintances, and they are influenced in new ways. And those of us, as we grow older, can always be influenced to and introduced to new things and musically and like them. or dislike them. They can become a part of who we are. As you know, I love the American roots music called bluegrass. I think that I probably like it because I grew up with it. I grew up with bluegrass musicians in my family, and I always knew the tunes and sang along. And as I grew older, I learned to appreciate the instrumentation that they did with with their instruments. I learned to appreciate their talent, how very difficult what they were doing really was. I like a lot of other kinds of music as well. I grew up listening to classical music quite a lot, and to some of the more religious classical music, and so I like a lot of those kinds of pieces of music. I like a lot of folk music. I like a lot of different kinds of music, but certainly as I grew up, my experience with other people in my culture and my community helped to shape that. And I'm sure that that is the same for you. So I hope that this article was enjoyable for you. I think it was just a nice way to tie together the ideas around a topic that I think is universal, and that is the enjoyment of music. I want to talk now and maybe into the next session then a little bit about how this article is structured, okay? Because we are looking not only at writing in meaningful ways, but how we set things up for writing. We did that with the essay that we worked on a week or so ago. We looked very closely at how it was organized. We want to look at this in a similar way. A news article is a little different from an essay. They certainly have many similarities, but a news article is usually going to be much more objective. That means it is going to be based more on facts and information that is true, whereas an essay does have some aspects of objectivity to it, and it may have aspects of subjectivity, of the writer giving opinion and feeling, okay? So with this news article, we have an objective sort of a piece here. We have information that the writer has shared with us that professionals have learned and have shared, that this factual information. I'm going to pause and restart for the next session, and so that I can get to the board, and I will be right back.